And I think with social media in every industry, there's always trolls. And it's just like, remember that behind the Instagram profile or TikTok or whatever social media platform it is, there's a human, there's a person that
absolutely.
you are mentally affecting. So before
definitely.
you type hate and shit, just remember that there's somebody behind that profile and you don't know how they're taking this.
Yes,
Amen.
exactly. Yes.
Literally.
Hi guys, we are back with another episode of What the Pluck, and don't forget that season 2 is sponsored by Nouveau Lashes, the creators of the LVL Lash Lift. So if you want to get trained in LVL Lashes, head on over to nouveaulashes.com to find out more. And we are back.
Hello, guys. Another episode of What the Pluck.
Another episode. Thanks so much for listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to know that you're not bored of us just yet.
Not yet. We're only on season 2, though. It might happen on season 3. Who knows? Season 3 might get cancelled. We've got a really exciting episode for you today, guys, because we have got a guest, the amazing Abbie from AMC Brows. Woo!
Woo!
Hi, Abbie.
Hi.
So
I'm nervous. I'm excited.
Oh, don't be nervous. You're fine.
You'll be fine.
I'm excited. I'm very ready.
So we did an episode in season 1 about social media, and kind of like the listeners absolutely loved it, and we felt like we could have just gone on for hours and hours talking about it. And then obviously when we were looking at getting guests on, you were the first person that sprung to mind when I thought
you were
social.
Yeah, you were, definitely.
You have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Like skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you know, this day and age with like our side of businesses, it's based off social media. And you know, it's today when I was going through the questions the other day and going through them today, you know, it's hard for me to answer sometimes just because I do feel like it has just happened quite naturally for me. As crazy as it has happened, it's just happened quite naturally. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know how it's happened because I'm just a nutter. But, you know, it has happened and I'm so grateful. And, you know, I know people get themselves quite backed up and quite down about following social media.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they do. I get messages every single day, and here I am voice noting everyone like, don't get yourself down about it. And I know it might be easy for me to say that because it has just happened really quickly. But you know, it's just something that personally I've never watched my following go up. It's just happened. And I say to my people that are in my DMs, you know, just everyone's on their own journeys, and remember that. And you know, it's followers, as much as I wouldn't take it away from me, it doesn't mean everything, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So Abbie, for the people who are listening, what is it that you do? What treatments are you trained in? How long have you done it? Where are you from? And stuff like that. Go for it.
So I'm Abbie May. I'm from Bedfordshire, and I've been in the eyebrow industry for literally just over 3 years. So it was 3 years in November, just gone. And I specialise in HD brows, brow sculpt, and henna brows. That's it. That's all I specialise
Fab.
in.
That's really good. So just to say as well how much following you've got and everything. And I didn't realise you'd only been in the industry that long. I thought you'd been in way longer.
And bearing in mind, we also had lockdown in between all of that. So to me, I sit there and I'm like, oh, how has this happened? Like, I don't know. Like, it does blow my mind. It really does. Like, it's crazy. But here I am.
And it can grow so quickly as well, especially like with social media. I think like TikTok is a massive. Are you on TikTok, Abbie?
I am, and only one video. I feel like with TikTok, it's really difficult to like
hit and miss.
With you. Yeah, it is. And like, I've only got one that reached, I don't know what it was. I think it was over 1 million views. And I actually gained a few clients from that. which is amazing. But like, I don't feel like it's necessarily TikTok that, well, maybe, because obviously I always write my Instagram on it, so people maybe just go onto the Instagram. But I am mostly Instagram. I don't use TikTok as much. Sometimes I sit down and I'm like, oh, I really want to, because I do like putting videos together.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Instagram, it's a lot. It is a lot to keep up with. It really is.
It is.
Like another full-time job.
Yeah, and I think you can like skyrocket overnight, can't you? On things, it can be just one post, one video. Because I mean, I've been on a lot of people's TikToks and stuff, and they've got like 2 million likes on one video, and then I've gone on and actually looked on their profile, and all the other ones I've got like 67 likes or whatever, and I'm like, wow, how was that video just blown up?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
One video. It is. It's wild, and some of them can be really, you know, just quite simple. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, oh wow, it is. It's just the power of social media.
I find on TikTok as well, it always seems to be those videos that took you 2 minutes that get all the views, all the likes, and then something that you've like edited in like 5 different softwares. Transitions galore. It'll get like 30 likes, and you're like, I've just spent like 5 hours doing this video.
Like you're convincing yourself that Instagram's crashed. You're like, something's wrong. Something's got to be wrong.
I do, and it is crazy how do you know what? I thought I was sometimes alone on like when I post. The thing is with me, like every time I post at the moment, it blows my mind. But you know, you do get yourself worked up. That, you know, I do find it quite sad that everyone, you know, we feel this pressure at all times. And although I've got my following and, you know, I am doing really well with it, I try and say to people, like, try not to stress about it. If you're getting your work out there, you're still getting your work out there. And, you know, it's just really hard, isn't it? It is. Because people do, it's this day and age, people get themselves very worked up about it. And I hope that in this podcast day, especially, just like get out there, you know, I will give you tips and whatever to help you guys. But, you know, we need to kind of like normalize that it's all right to get 100 views. Like, it's not the end of the day.
Definitely.
Like, it's not, you know,
it's
what I mean?
The be all and end all. And I think a lot of people get hung up on wanting a big following or to get all these comments and likes. But I think the main thing to remember is that doesn't equal clients.
No, definitely not.
Oh my God, I say this all the time. I was on my Instagram one night and I had quite a free night, so I just went on live, and I had a lot of questions from mostly brow artists, and everyone was like, how do you build up your following? I get myself really upset, just blah blah blah. And I just say, like, you know, I've got, say, 20,000 followers now, which is wild, but like, it doesn't mean that is all clients. And I'm, you know, as fully booked as I am, you know, it doesn't mean I'm always going to be fully booked because of that following. You know, it's just followers. It's not making me money. Do you know what I mean? My clients.
You were probably fully booked before you got 20,000 followers as well.
100%.
It's not like
100%.
those 20,000 followers equals 20,000 clients.
Exactly that. Exactly. And I try and kind of explain that as much as I can, because people do, you know, we are in this world that, you know, oh my God, she's got so-and-so like followers or likes, whatever,
Definitely.
They're amazing. And it's like, no, like, you know, you can have under like 10k followers and be bloody incredible. Like, well, everyone is, you know what I mean by that? Like, you know, we are, I
wish kind of, I was saying this to a friend yesterday, I wish social media would fully take away likes and wouldn't give you likes at all. Because I think I think, you know, like, to get following is fine, but I think if you actually took away likes, because you see a lot of people now that are using the app where it'll say, you know, such and such and others like this pic. And I think a lot of people end up doing that because they're scared to show the amount of people that are actually liking it or that are not liking it. So I said to my friend yesterday, I would love it if they took likes away fully. So you wouldn't be bothered when you uploaded a picture. Oh my God, how many likes has that got? It's not got that many. People must think that's crap. You know, so it would be so much better if likes were took away, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's really, it does really upset me that we've all been there. Like I've been there where I thought like that. And I do find it really quite sad. And we need to, I think that would be an amazing idea for Instagram, especially. Because it's a very toxic-y thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I put a reel on the other night on Instagram, and like half an hour later, I went back on Instagram because I've turned the notifications off on Instagram. So that I don't get like this person's commented or this like, because I end up then opening Instagram, sitting on it for 10 minutes. So I just don't have the notifications on. So I'd gone back on Instagram like half an hour later and it had 1 view. And I was like,
I remember this because you voice noted me saying, something's going on. Instagram's gone down.
Instagram's down. And then I got myself really like annoyed. And I was like, no, Instagram's got to be down. How can it be 1 view? I was like, forget likes or comments, but to actually view it, how is only 1 person viewed it? And then I was just like, it's just whatever. Like, it don't matter.
Yeah. No, and it doesn't. Like, you should post for you. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like even now, I mean, I've been very overwhelmed recently because of everything going on. Amazing, good, all of that. But it takes its toll. And I had to sit myself down and say, remember why I'm as consistent on Instagram as I am, because I like doing that. But recently, because of the pressure and whatever, I feel like I post because I have to.
Yeah.
And then I sat myself down and I said to myself, no, post like when you want to post. And then because I got in a mindset where I was like, I've got to post every day. I've got to keep it all up. No, like I really don't. I really, really don't. Like I had a brand actually reach out to me that I'm really quite close with. And I'm like, is everything all right? And I was like, yeah, I just need a sec. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's because I've got myself all like, you know, post every day. You need to make sure everyone's looking at your stuff every day. But it was because of the pressure and the following and all of that. But then you've got to take yourself like for a conversation and just say like, no, remember why you started this and what, because I do love posting, but just felt like I had to.
Yes. Do you feel like you're following as well? Did it happen like really like ridiculously quickly? Or do you feel like it kept like consistently creeping up? Or do you feel like just one, like over like maybe like 48 hours or a week or something, it just were like bang, it were there? Were there anything that like what you posted that just skyrocketed and got you like loads of followers, do you think?
So everything really started to like, it was one thing after another after my HD Brow Live with Jamie and Ronnie. Really... everything, like even other brands saw it and was like, oh my God, you know, that. And then massively, so that happened. I think I had a pop-up thing the other day, maybe just over a year ago, coming up a year, because it was when the Pro Super Shaper, am I saying it right?
Yes.
Came out. And then from then, everything really started to pick up. As well as just myself being consistent on Instagram and whatever. Like I wouldn't say over like 48 hours. I would say that when that happened, I would say like a good couple months. I think I reached 10k. Right. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then, you know, and it's one of them things as well, which I don't agree with, but I get it. As soon as I hit 10k, I had a lot of people reach out to me, brands reach out to me, and it was like a snowball effect. And even now, there's just stuff coming up that are just so exciting, and I'm like, oh my God, that's great. But
good.
No, it is good. It's amazing. I'm very grateful. always.
So, Abbie, I want to ask, how would you describe like your style of work? Like, I can spot if I'm scrolling on Instagram without seeing your name, I know that's your work.
Really?
Yeah, I can spot it a mile off.
So you got a signature style then?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you gave me the questions for the podcast, I was going through them, and I was even talking to some of my clients yesterday. I was like, "What would you describe my style of work?" And they were like, "Unique," and I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like my style, say with like lamination and stuff like that, I'd say like I've got a soft, sleek look to things.
Yeah.
You know, some people's are a bit more dramatic, which I love. I love all of it. But like I feel like that is like my thing. Do you know what I mean? Like soft lamination, a pretty lamination. Not saying you know what I mean. They're all pretty. But,
I love that though. I love that. I know exactly what you mean. It's like delicate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but to be honest, like I just think like my work, I'm a perfectionist. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's why you're good at brows.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I'm struggling answering, but like all my clients are like, you're just unique. Like everyone does say, like when they're scrolling through, they can see my work, and I don't know what it is, but
I feel like yours is very soft, very natural. Like,
I love
really
that.
Really nice highlight.
Yeah.
And there's never, not that there's too much makeup, but like with the makeup you put in, it's like you can't really see it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what it is? I think my work and my finishes is like, you know, you say less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. It is.
And like, that is what I say to my girls. Like, even when my girls come in, me and my clients, like they say to me, "Oh, what would you recommend me filling my eyebrows? I find it too blocky." And I'm like, remember, less is more, especially when you've had that fresh, you know, HD brow lamination, whatever. You don't need much after the next couple of weeks or whatever. But like, less is more. Don't just. It's easy to get carried away, though. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
I used to say to students when I worked when I were a trainer for HD, I used to say to students, makeup is supposed to give the illusion of hair. So if the hair is there, you don't need to put the makeup in. So you know, and I used to be like, just so stop like overfilling and stuff. If the hair's there, we don't need to put it in. But yeah, you can definitely tell your style of work. It's very soft and pretty. It's lovely. So nice.
Thank you so much.
What would you say, Abbie, like your top 3 tips for Instagram are, if you had any like top tips for anybody listening?
So, be yourself. I feel like that's one like massive one, is be yourself. Like, and you know, for me, I don't know whether my following has got the way it's got, because when I do post myself in my stories or whatever, like I am myself, and I just, you know, you've got to be you for your brand. Do you know what I mean? Don't try and be like other people. Just be you, even if that's not. Oh, I don't want to post. I don't want to say like how I am. I go on my stories every now and then, talk through products, whatever. That's okay. Like, it's all right. Do you know what I mean? Be yourself. Do what you want. Don't feel the pressure of what everyone else is doing around you. So that's one massive thing. And do you know what? This is really big for me, is support everyone and anyone around you. Again, I feel like, I don't know, but I do believe that the reason my following's got so big is because I support everyone around me. Even if there's a brown lady 10 minutes down my road, I post her stuff all the time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you know, this industry, it's like competition, and I really and I get it, because it is essentially, but I just feel like this world is already so horrible that you should support everyone around you, especially if you're doing similar things. Support people, then you can tell each other tips, tricks, advice. Like the amount of every day I'm voice noting someone. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if they're around the corner from me. I will help you as much as I can. I will support you, and I think that's massive. I feel like, I mean, I don't know about you two, but I do believe in this industry we've all had people maybe not being so nice about you, or you hear things from whatever for me, it's like, you know, it's happened, but no matter what, just support. Like, and I feel like, you know, the beauty industry, it has its, people think it can be quite bitchy and whatever, but I want to build AMC around being supportive, and I think that's why people like looking at my stuff. So I think support everyone and anyone around you.
And I think those who say it's a bitchy industry are usually the ones that are involved in the bitchiness.
100%. When I went into it, I can't. When I went into it, there was people that said it to me, and it's like, okay,
So I don't hear it because I don't get involved with it. I've no reason to slag off other artists, so I don't hear it because I'm not in it, in 100%, that bitchiness.
100%. Yeah. And I say it because, again, I've had DMs like, oh, I get myself worked up, so-and-so, like, someone said this, and I'm just like, rise above, ignore it. If anything, kill him with kindness, just do you and support everyone. It gets you a long way, and I feel like it's got me a long way, and I love talking to stylists all the time. There's a girl called, her name's Bella Beauty on Instagram. She's literally 5. Ebony. She I love her so much. We talk all the time. She's 5 minutes down the road from me, like, and we help each other out all the time. And I just feel that's an example. Like, you know, she might be 5 minutes down the road from me, but who cares? Support everyone.
I feel like she's having a moment as well. Like, because obviously I work on the social team for like HD, Nouveau Lashes, all of that. And like, when I'm looking at like resharing work or scheduling, like when I click on a picture, like a lot of the time, like I'm like, oh, it's her again. Like she's
my God, her reels. I was messaging her the other day because I posted her reel on the new wax, HD brow wax. Oh my God, love the new HD brow wax. It's stunning. Anyway, we were talking about it, and I messaged her. I was like, your reels give me life. Like, I'd sit there, like last night, I think, was it last night or the night before? You know, this time I can't even think what day it is. But I was scrolling through it, like on her Instagram, just loving her. Oh, I just love her reels. I can feel it's going to blow, you know?
She's like having a moment. Yeah, it's coming.
She sure is.
And then your final tip, did we cover 3 there or 2?
No, we covered 2, but I just rambled, don't I? I would say stay as consistent as you can, you know, and don't feel the pressure. So a bit of both, a bit of 2 examples there. Is that all right? Am I allowed to say that too?
Yeah.
Stay consistent, but what's right for you.
Don't feel like you need to do something because everybody else is doing it. Like, do what's right.
Stay consistent for what's right for you. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a quick break.
I was just about to say, Jamie, let's take a break.
At Nouveau Lashes, product quality matters. The majority of their products are manufactured specifically in the UK with direction from their internal product development team. You'll never find these guys white labeling products.
They're proud to be innovators within their field and aren't afraid to improve on their own products. Even their top-selling LVL Lash Lift has undergone a makeover. The new LVL Cera Lash Lift formula is going to cut down your treatment times by 33%. It has even more health benefits for your lashes, and it's now certified by the Vegan Society, which makes it their first 100% vegan lash lift. So head on over to nouveaulashes.com to learn more about their amazing products. And we are back with our guest, Abbie, and we've got another question for you.
So, Abbie, what I am dying to know is, how the hell do you manage to get so much content when you've got these busy, like fully booked salon days? How are you managing to find time to capture all that?
Yeah.
So, some people know this, some people don't, but I do an office job as well as eyebrows, which is, very full on, I can't lie. And it was a standard like 9 to 5 job. Then I'd come home and do my evening appointments and Saturdays only. But obviously AMC has just gone wild. Then I started doing half days. So I'm still there in the mornings and then come home and do appointments like half the day, like from 1 p.m. onwards. So what's really good with me personally, why I love having my office job, is because it breaks up my week, but as well as my boss is really supportive, and I can plan my Instagram, my post when I'm there in the mornings, without taking the piss. Do you know what I mean? I can schedule what I'm putting on my stories as drafts, and then I'll kind of time-wise always have like an idea of when I'm going to post that in my head, but I'll have it draft, and I'm able to do that in my office job. I'll be honest, when I think of when I go for like completely full-time with Brows, I do think to myself, I'm going to have to like book out at least half hour, 45 to still be able to do that. Because it, you know, again, that's another massive pressure of like, you know, of my business, you know, everyone's business, because people like to see what they might be able to get done. Do you know what I mean? So you have to put time, and it is really difficult, really, really hard. But that's how I personally do it. And, you know, I'm very grateful that I can do that at my office job. But yeah, it is full on. Don't get me wrong, really full on. But yeah, I still manage to do it. The one thing that I do find quite hard, like when I do, like say a reel on Instagram, I'll video the whole treatment being done, and then I have to go on and edit it, which can take me a couple of days. And I don't do that at my office job, but I will do that in the evenings if you could be bothered after a hard day at work, you know. But no, I kind of find time either at my office job or in the evenings.
Do you find that you have like a setup? Because where I struggle a lot is when I'm in salon doing treatments, I'll be halfway through and I think, oh shit, I didn't take a before, or I've not recorded anything up until now. And I'm just like, oh, like, do you have like your phone or your camera set up ready to go all the time? Or do you have
not always. Yeah, I feel the same. I find that that's with new clients as well sometimes, which are always the most annoying because it's a fresh brow. Do you know what I mean? But because with me, like, I don't know if you can tell, but I talk through them, and like I want, especially my new clients, to get to know each other, and not straight away, you know,
build that relationship. Yeah.
But I do always get to that part. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't take it. And you know, people don't, sometimes with a brow you do it, but you know, you can really see what you've done to it when you see the before, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's always that kick, you know, when you haven't done it, you're like, oh, for God's sake. But it's fine.
Do you ever as well find like you'll have got the content of a brow, and then when you come to like edit the reel together or like do your pictures or whatever, and you look and you think, that looks crap. That does not look how I sent her out like the door.
This.
How I see it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I don't know, sometimes I generally put that down to like bad lighting. Do you know what
like
I mean?
The angle of the picture and stuff like that.
Yeah. And because you've been in a rush or something. Yeah, I always kick myself. I really do. But we shouldn't. It's just the way it is. Do you know what I mean? And we should be able to post it without thinking, oh, someone will like. For me, that's one thing as well. Since I've hit following, you know, I think, oh my god, it's, you know, what about someone clocks it? It's not a great angle or whatever, but we're still, you know, we post our work for us, you know, so it shouldn't matter. But no, I think it's just one of those things where with me especially, I take a picture and, you know, as well as I'm doing on Instagram or whatever, I always pick up something that I'm like, I should have done that. But everyone feels that way because we're, you know, what's the saying?
Like perfectionists.
And we
our own biggest critic.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Is it? It's something like that. Yeah.
Something like
you can
that.
be your own biggest critic.
We'll take that. Yeah.
And we've
it's...
Go on, sorry.
No, I don't know.
I was just going to say, we've spoke about it before and said kind of like the pressures of posting. Like me and Harriet combined don't have your following, but you know, being trainers or whatever, the pressures of posting, and this might not happen, but in your head, you think everyone's looking at this and looking for anything they can, pick at it.
Yeah.
And it might not happen. It might happen, but the pressures of social, it does kind of get in your head and mess with you, because you're thinking, are people going to like it? Is somebody going to pick up on it? Is this going to be like in somebody's group WhatsApp chat and they're all laughing? Or it's like imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Like where you just become like your biggest enemy, and you just need to not care what people think. It's your social media post because you like it. And
I had to kind of say that exactly, like that exact thing to myself recently, that, remember why I like to post, but I find myself, I don't know whether it probably is since reaching a certain following. I watch my comments because, sometimes, recently I've been getting a few odd comments like, that shouldn't have been done like that, or, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, but it's, and then that creates a thing where you're like, oh my God, looking into literally everything, but your work is your work, and it's amazing regardless, but, and that's it's social media. It's toxic. As much as I, I'm so grateful, and I wouldn't take my following away from me, I have to kind of say, like, it is such a toxic environment, and people, I can't explain it, but I just don't want people to get themselves worked up the way I have before. And I just want to try and put that out there, but it is really difficult because, apparently everyone's, can I swear on this?
Yeah. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah. Like,
have you not listened to our podcast before?
No, I have. I don't know whatever you want.
I have to mark it as explicit when uploading, so you're good.
We're northern. Don't worry about it.
But like, people think you're the shit because you've got this and that. Like, no, but I don't know.
Yeah. It can be like, social media can be amazing, but at the same time, it can also be so bad and toxic, and just a shit place to be sometimes.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be where I am without my Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's toxic, and people kind of like lose sight of what is actually important. Because of like the stigma around it all.
And I think with social media, in every industry, there's always trolls. And it's just like, remember that behind the Instagram profile or TikTok or whatever social media platform it is, there's a human, there's a person that you are mentally affecting. So before you type hate and shit, just remember that there's somebody behind that profile, and you don't know how they're taking this.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Literally.
Oh, I know. I think like we uploaded something on YouTube, and I think somebody put it was like a meet the host thing, and it were like, on my video, the one that were like talking about me, just some random person put like, what the fuck underneath, and I was like, oh my God, I was actually really bothered by it. I was thinking, what do they mean? Like, I'm actually a really nice person.
I messaged Harriet and I was like, you've got your first bit of hate online. I've been through it. I'm used to it. And I was like, Harriet, you've got your first bit of hate. Like, let's celebrate.
God. I know. Exciting, isn't it?
Well, I've had recently, like I said, like a few comments here and there on my stuff, like not necessarily on me, because oh my God, I'd absolutely hate that, but like on my work or whatever, and I'm like, I'm a nice person, okay? I don't like when people don't like something. I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
I always think this about salons as well. I always think, like, and this is something that my mum taught me from a young age, you don't have to pull somebody else down or their work down to make yours look better.
100%.
So, and because it doesn't at all. It just, like, I don't comment. I'll have people come to me who's been at other previous salons and they'll talk about it, and that's not, it's not my business. That's not my, I don't even say anything about it. I just think, because there's two sides to every story as well, but no, 100%. You never, and you just don't need to pull people's work down to make yourself look better.
And sometimes people just do it for you being you.
Yeah. They just do it because it's you.
Yeah,
definitely.
But they'll still be listening to this podcast. Anyway, moving on.
Hi.
So Abbie, I want to ask, what, like, not necessarily a social media kit, but like, if you had to, like, say your go-to, like, apps or like the bits that you use, what would it be? If you want to give it away, you don't have to. You can just keep going.
Do you know what it is? Apps meaning like apps that help. Do you mean like photos, or
do you just, so like
maybe
when you
like
do your
photo
content,
editing or even tools? Yeah.
So when you do your content, do you just edit it all in Instagram, or do you have like a different app, or do you like add stuff in Canva or stuff like that?
No, I literally, I got my phone. Let me work it out what it is. But I will post a photo and I will basically brighten it to just make everything look brighter. But other than that, I don't do anything. I actually don't. Like, I get this question a lot and I'm like, I don't know how to answer it because I don't do anything other than that.
Yes.
Let me just work it out. So it's literally the Lux tool.
LUX, like Lux.
Yeah. Like up the top bit. And then I just literally, I get it to about, I don't know how to explain it. Wait, I
move it across a bit. Yeah,
but
so you reduce it slightly.
Reduce, that's the word. Reduce it. I reduce the photos, and obviously it depends on the tone and stuff like that. But most of the time, I reduce it to about 20. So it just looks a bit brighter. It makes the photo pop a little bit. It looks good on like the front of your Instagram. But other than that, I pray for the best in post. I don't really use many apps. I use what do I use? It's like if I do my reels and I have to crop it all down and use apps, I will use the app. What is it called? How do you say it? Splice?
Splice?
Have you heard of it? Yeah,
Splice.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and that is all I use, and you can mute the videos, you can crop it all down, can you speed it? I think you can speed it up, but I also use video speed if I need to speed it up. So I use them two apps, brighten up my photos, not all the time, but if I feel like I'm having a bad lighting moment, I will reduce it to 20 on the Lux section of the Instagram. Some people use like brighten it, say on your photo album, so on like your iPhone and whatever. But I've just always done it on that Instagram, on the Instagram one, and that's all I do.
A good app for videos for like reels and stuff is CapCut.
I've heard of that.
And that where you're like, because I do what you do, like I'll film the whole treatment and then you chop it up to make the reel. You can do it all in there, and you can like add transitions and it does it all for you.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
That's quite a good one. Yeah.
Right. I will be noting that down.
Harriet's like, right, so CapCut,
I'm like,
Splice,
I'm like
Lux.
mentally making, I'm just writing here with my hand.
So I feel like we've already covered this question throughout the episode.
I do.
But the final question that we wanted to run through were like the pressures from social media. But I feel like we've covered it.
Yeah, we have, haven't we?
It is a lot of pressure in this day and age. You know, everyone thinks, we have covered this all, but everyone thinks, likes, followers, everything means, you are the best. Like better than anyone. No, we're all equally as amazing, and like it is so much pressure. But my only advice is just do what you're doing and don't lose sight of that. And everyone's on like their own journey. And you know, I'll get a lot of people, especially like starting out with eyebrows, which is hard enough as it is, you know, and we all, you know, compare our work to other people's, but most of the time, back when I used to compare when I started off, you know, I had to say to myself, oh, well, they've been in the industry for years, and I'll get to that point. You work for it, you'll get to the point you want to get to. And just do you for you.
Yeah, that's good advice. Good advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Abbie. We've absolutely loved it. And I feel like I've had a lesson. I feel like I've had a lesson myself. I've just been sat here like zoned out, like thinking, oh shit, I am actually the host of this. I need to talk.
Oh no, thank you so much. I love it. I feel like I was really nervous, but I don't know why, because it was just so lovely. And I love this podcast so much. So much? What did I say? So much. And I just, thank you for having me. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So don't forget, guys, What the Pluck Season 2 is sponsored by the amazing Nouveau Lashes. So don't forget to head on over to their website, nouveaulashes.com, to find out all the information on their latest training and products.